stand like this. It's not bad now. Good afternoon, Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers of the University of Calabar, members of NUGA Unical, Chairman, Executive Secretary, and members. The substance of our gathering here, permit me to take a few rounds of introduction for purpose of the press, and then I will now call on the Executive Secretary to introduce the NUGA team as constituted here. I'd like to very respectfully remind the President of the 12th and substantive Vice Chancellor of the University of Calabar, who is very committed to Unical hosting NUGA 2026. It's the pleasure of Professor Ofion Fan. Management staff. We have Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Kaitena. Deputy Vice Chancellor Research, Linkages and Collaboration, Professor Anthony Ignatius. Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Anthony Afan Okiwele. Registrar and Secretary of Governing Council, Dr. Mrs. Chukwuka. University Bossa, Joseph Odu. University Librarian, Professor. I will skip some persons and introduce other ones so that the executive will do justice to his team. We have the Director of Administration, so the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Citizen Unical. The Director of Legal Services, University of Calabar, Barrister Jonas Abo. That's about that for University of Calabar team management. I will leave the DPP is in the NUGA committee. So the Executive Secretary will introduce them. Executive Sir, Barrister Dr. Zokenzima.
My Vice Chancellor, sir, members of the University Management Team, Chairman NUGA Unical, National Chairman NUGA Nigeria, gentlemen. We have before us a high team, a very strong team from NUGA Nigeria, a team that just finished NUGA Unijos and have decided to come to hand over the flag today to our amiable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ofion. Professor, I have next to him the Secretary General of NUGA Nigeria, Mr. Yunus Pasa. Closely sitting next to the Secretary is Professor Stephen Hammelfeld. Musa G. Yakasai. Professor Yakasai is the chairman technical. My Vice Chancellor, I will tell you that why we are getting this flag today because of Professor Yakasai. If he doesn't see what convinces him, he will not give you a flag. He was convinced. He is happy with Unical. Thank you, Prof. Please next to him is our consultant who has put in so much and will give us results in NUGA 2026. Engineer George Media Vision is the consultancy that have tried to drive the marketing process for NUGA 2026. The MD NUGA Vision is Mr. Ajori. The public relations, Mr. Ogo. One of our greatest alumni who is doing us proud and is investing in NUGA is the MD of Huggins Hotels, right? Yes. Dr. Ike been hosted in Calabar several times. If you go to the stadium, you see that in 1999, Nigeria was hosted here in the World Cup. If you go to the basketball court, you see something that is intimidating. If you go to the swimming pool, intimidating. The man that was behind all that is Dr. June Amadi, former director of sports. My vice chancellor, you were in the NUGA team in 1990. You won medals in judo, you competed, and you are ready for this one. So for the people that worked with you on that team, include Coach Alberto, who was your secretary of your NUGA judo squad. We have the director of sports, a young man who has put in all, Dr. George. Lega, you were introduced as a leader. DPP, if we make a mistake in that stadium, or that track, or that swimming pool, DPP. Architect, the consultants, the media consultants, Dr. Singh of Unical did a great job for us. My vice chancellor, you know the beauty of introducing somebody last is that the person is in charge. The chairman of Unical Sports Commission, Sports Council, is a seasoned administrator. That's the international name. In short, he attracted all these people to Unical. When he said in a whisper that I had introduced, I was laughing. Because he doesn't know that he's the masquerade behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, my vice chancellor, Professor Bunji. My name is Dr. M. Sename. I'm the Executive Secretary of NUGA 2026. Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you.
Well, we will continue with the introduction as the event pans out. But I won't let you sit like that, Executive Secretary. Maybe give us a brief as to why we are gathered here in a few minutes.
My Vice Chancellor, Unical is coming back to NUGA 35 years after. Unical is one of the most sports-friendly universities in the history of this country. We have produced Olympians. We have produced people in the national team. We have produced gold medalists in all sectors of sports. Today, the Nigerian University Games are come to Calabar to hand over the flag for the 28th NUGA ceremonies holding in Calabar, Nigeria. Other universities competed for this. BUK, where Professor Yakasai came from, they lost to us. Professor, ABU came, they lost. Because you've done a lot to put us in the map. Today is that day we're waiting for. Well, we're officially given the flag and told that run with NUGA 2026. We are happy that the VC is a sports-loving person, a gift to sports. A man, you can see his feet. A man not been able to. The first day he spoke to the NUGA team, he said, I want this to succeed. He said to us, I want to see something to show that NUGA is being hosted here. And we were at the carnival, you see, NUGA was everywhere at the carnival. If you go to the gate, you see the VC has welcomed the NUGA team. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Your people have come to give you your flag. Your flag, because Calabar, even the governor said, with Professor Fiam and VC, we are approved. Calabar will be hosting NUGA with the government across the state. So no other person will have been best fit for this moment than our incumbent Vice Chancellor, who has shown so much love to us in the last few days. Professor, that is the opening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary, sir. We would also like to hear from the Chairman of NUGA Unical.
Thank you very much, my Vice Chancellor, kindly allow me to rest on the already established protocol. It's most likely going to be of two sessions. The first being the handing over of the flag, which will involve every one of us. But the second section, what the technical section is, will be strictly between the NUGA team and the university team. The press, the cameramen, the hang-around, especially if they're interested in capturing the signing of the MOA at the end of the day. This is why we are here, and we are very, very comfortable. We are very, very satisfied. We are at peace because we have a leader who has given us the mandate. Once we look around, he's there for us. He has assured us we shouldn't be afraid. Even if it's a mountain, it shall be climbed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point I'd like to respectfully invite the Acting President NUGA National, Dr. Ajibwa Michael Alayode, to address the University Congress.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Principal officers are present. Chairman of Sports Council, Executive Secretary NUGA, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to be here again. Last year we were here to come and check the facilities on ground. We are highly impressed with what we have, what we saw. In fact, when we got to our hotel, we said, even if they ask Unical to host this game in 6 months' time, they will do it successfully. Mr. Vincent, let me congratulate you for getting this appointment. It is not easy. I'm also happy that from this discussion that what is to better place. It does mean that we are in good hands. We are in good hands. And we can assure you that what we experience in Unical, in Unical, we won't experience it here. Amen. Because we know from the faces I'm seeing here, we've been meeting together for more than 10, 15 years, and I know their capacity in NUGA Games. Now they are here, their experience will be brought to bear on the event itself. So, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to apologize to you and apologize to the staff and student relations president for not activating this event before now. You know that it wasn't our problem, it was the problem from University of Calabar. There's no way we can activate Unical when we have not hosted that of Unions. There's going to be problems. Knowing fully well that we go to the same market to look for sponsorship. That was why we are coming now. Mr. Vice Chancellor, our president is very, very high. He is very, 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 very high. The last time we came here, we visited the commissioner of sports.
Yes, sir.
We met the director of sports. And that shows that we are coming for a city game. A game that all the youth have, all cross river people will be involved. And we are assuring you that we also double our effort to make sure that coming NUGA Games will be the best in this show this game. This game started in 1966 with just 5 universities. Today, we have close to 119 universities as members, spreading across state, federal, and private universities. In the last NUGA Games, close to 100 universities participated. The event witnessed about more than 10,000 athletes, and about 5,000 officiating officials. Mr. Vice Chancellor, we are expecting you to be prepared for more than that number when we will have hosting here. Because it's that everybody wants to be here. There is this information that that Calabar is very neat. They are very, very accommodating, and that we are coming here to express and enjoy the fresh air of this environment. So, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I want to thank you very much for welcoming us to this place. And I also appreciate what was done to us last time we came here. Sometimes in 1991, a friend of mine served here. So I was going for service. He just told me, I pray that you come to Calabar. There's something they call anytime called there. If you eat it, you come over again. But the last time I came here, I shopped it. And thank God I also packed here again. So NUGA Games is a very huge game, sir. It's very very expensive. It requires a huge money. And I pray that God is going to support you and help you, sir. From what we have heard and what we are saying, that we know that we are passionate for this game. And God is going to support you to give your best and achieve the best in the coming games. We are believing that this event is going to come up this year. Before they end, we have not even speak about the day, but we are expecting council meetings to be here at least 3 times before the event, so that people will come around and see what we have on ground here. So we are also looking at supportive gestures from you, sir. We have this sport levy meant for all universities in Nigeria. I'm not sure of generating money. This is what we need, what we rely on to make the association work. So if you can get that one, we'll be very, very happy, and pray that God is going to help you. Lastly, sir, we are expecting you, sir, to prepare a very good accommodation for officials and students that will be coming for NUGA Games. And like I said, if we are talking about 10,000 athletes in the universe, we should be talking about 15,000 really for the game. We're also expecting the university to provide modern day equipment. And yes, somebody was talking about the track the other time. Why we give this event to universities is to enable them to develop their facility so that the students will have time or facilities to enjoy their free time. You agree with me, sir? Most deviant behaviors are conceived during free time. If their free times are not positively taken care of, they will do something else, and that something else may be detrimental to the lives of other people. So we pray that God will help you, sir. We are trying to establish, I told the chairman, we want to establish a line of communication with the university. We want to know how information will be moving. Is it that through the Director of Sports, the chairperson, Chairman of Sports Council, or the Executive Secretary of NUGA? We want to know so that we will know what we are doing and there won't be any confusion or any problem. So thank you very much. Pray that God will bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Acting President NUGA.
Let's go inside. Let's go inside.
This is a top symbolic ceremony. Can we all rise?
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now that NUGA flag is in the hands of our Vice Chancellor, it's a given that before that flag will leave here, NUGA Games will be consummated.
Yes.
So on that very joyful note that I'd like to respectfully request the Vice Chancellor to please make his remarks. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you, the MC. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Research, Linkages and Collaboration, the Registrar of the University, and other principal officers here present, the Chairman, Acting Chairman of NUGA and his team that has visited us today in the handing over of the NUGA flag to the University of Calabar, other directors in the university and members of the University of Calabar NUGA committee, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of great people who have visited us today, which is in line with the great expectation the entire university community is looking forward to in Unical this year, God willing. I want to welcome you especially to University of Calabar. Today is a special day for us because we started with a solemn assembly from 10 a.m. to about 12 p.m. And we invited God to continue to lead us in the administration of the University of Calabar. Do it well, and you will be successful. Do it well, and you will be successful. And we have no doubt in our mind that we will be successful in the hosting of this NUGA Game. Let me also extend the best wishes of His Excellency the Governor. You may recall that immediately after my assuming duty as the Vice Chancellor, there was an attempt to hold this meeting. And I had to advise that we tarry on for a while because I needed also to discuss with His Excellency about this. He is very, very keen and interested in the NUGA hosting by the University of Calabar. Because it's not just the University of Calabar that will be hosting this game. They say the state government will be the chief host of all the programs. And therefore, we'll continue to carry His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, along in our preparation towards this hosting of NUGA. And I have to say that on our own side, for that. And that is an indication of my readiness as a Vice Chancellor to drive the process that will lead us to a very successful game this year. Although I may be a new Vice Chancellor, but I've been a university person for about 4 decades. I have been in the university system. And like the Executive Secretary said earlier, I have, as a student, participated also in the NUGA Games. And even at the secondary school level, I have participated in Nigerian National Sport Festival. So for me, sport is something that is part of me. And if I have my way, I will encourage any young person to identify one sporting event or game to be active. Like we have said earlier, it puts your mind off so many other things that are not fruitful for you at the end of it all. So we would like to say that it is not just us seated in this room that are looking forward to this NUGA game. Our students, the teeming population of our students are very keen and waiting to be part of this very important game. And therefore we will make this together with them. We will make this game the best so far NUGA National has hosted. And in every way, we will show our commitment, whether by way of students also showing their commitment in paying what they are supposed to pay towards the NUGA game. That will be done, and we will continue to carry the student along with this. Let me say that Calabar is just not a town rich in culture and history. It is a town that is known for the best cuisines that you can have in Nigeria and West Africa. So it's not only a little icon, you will enjoy many more of those cuisines. And so to be in NUGA, Unical will be to come and have fun and have a good time for once in Nigeria. Calabar is also one of the safest cities in Nigeria. We had a tinge of what used to be some insecurity briefly, but the administration of His Excellency Prince Basil II has bring that to a standstill. Nobody is shaking as far as insecurity is concerned in Cross-River State. So we want to also assure you that you come, as is usually said, to be at rest in Calabar. And also, we welcome you to a town that is clean, green, and serene. And this is one thing we cannot give up in Calabar. And we intend to also provide you with a very clean environment, starting from our university. Next time when you have cause to visit this university, in assessing our level of preparedness towards this game, you will agree with me that truly Calabar is clean, and the University of Calabar is clean and green. And we want to be seen to be one that will set a pace for a very green and clean environment among the Lake of University in Nigeria. We cannot tell you all the story about this game. The best is to see the action. And the action begins with this handing over of the flag to us. And we are going to go into a lot of actions. Yesterday, in reviewing the preparation for this meeting, we had a very long meeting. So NUGA committee here have been also intimated that there will be a series of such long meetings, because we have a commitment and we must live up to that commitment. And I believe that we will work together with the National NUGA Committee to realize all the best that we can do for this game. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, sir. That's about. God bless you. God bless you. Do that 256.
Thank you, gentlemen of the press.
Just a student, you're with us.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to excuse everyone, with the exception of the principal officer, and then the visiting NUGA team, and then those who are in the NUGA committee within the university.
Head of legal.
Head of legal. Legal. Certainly, he must be here. So thank you very much. The marketers, they have the option, since they are the one marketing us, they can relax and then just go along with us. It's not a large crowd cafe. Thank you. Yes, sir. Vice Chancellor, I've been briefed by the NUGA visiting team that the Unical Flag President, Professor Amakin, will lead us article by article, clause by clause, and then they will be expecting interjection if there are issues we want them to clarify. So that is how they said we go along. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen.
Can we just make a few more copies?
Okay.
Yes. Somebody
has gone for it. I was thinking it's not going to be a very long process.
Okay.
It's not going to be a long process. At least the legal man is here. The Vice Chancellor has his copy and the registrar. We want to request that since it has been sent to the university some time ago, if there is any silent areas or areas that you have noted that you want us to talk about.
Okay, let us get a few copies.
Okay, that will be better.
And just give us the date to us.
We're going to give you much more time.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
is from here.
Oh, he's from this state. Thanks for the appointment.
You know, they want to tell me before this morning. I see that.
I think we are set. So,
All right. Mr. Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Professor Stephen S. Amateto, the immediate past president of NUGA. By extension, I would say it was during my time that the posting was given to the University of Calabar. I was the one that the University of Calabar Games will be called 28 NUGA Games. 28 NUGA Games. That is in the series of the games since 1966. This is the 28th time the games is being hosted by the University of Calabar. So it gets the name from 1966 when it was hosted in the University of Calabar, 5 universities at that time. So we have our memorandum of agreements here, and I wouldn't want to bother you about the preambles. The preambles are there, and the section for definition also there. Don't want to bother ourselves with that. They are all defined in terms that are applicable. And so we go to section 2. I mean, yeah, section 2, section 1. Let's go to article number 4. The article number 4 says governing laws. The MOU or MOA shall be governed by the laws of Federal Republic of Nigeria. What this means is that all the activities we shall be doing here in terms of sports participation will be guided by the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you are going to provide a football pitch that is of standard, that is acceptable by Nigerian Football Federation or Association. So volleyball courts and all the courts, whatever we are going to be doing here, shall be in consonance with what the law of the nation approves. Now we go to section 2 where we have financial arrangements. This article 6 number 1 says University of Calabar shall put into the account of NUGA 10 million naira as acceptance fee. So it is not just the getting and we go to your place now, because University of Calabar says because of the financial crunch they will not be able to do the payment. But I'm happy from the speech of the governor, I mean the VC, had already told us that it is not only University of Calabar that is concerned about this game, the whole state is, and the governor of the state. Now, we have participation fee of 5,000 naira. Every student that is going to participate in these games, we came back from Germany in July, and Nigerian students had to pay to participate $200 to participate in the games in Germany. So we want students in Nigerian universities to also pay such money. When the money goes into the account of University of Calabar, it will soften and ease the cost of transportation of ESCO coming here and going. And so that is why the funds are requested for. So participation fees shall support travel, accommodation, and feeding of ESCO. We don't want to bore you getting money from your little what do we call, your little amount that is coming from the federation account or the students' levy that you have been collecting. We want this money to be able to assist the university. Now we have article number 8, which is vendor revenue sharing. In case we're going to be having some vendors, we also know that during the games we have so many people coming with their wares to sell. So many canopies will be raised. People will be coming to tell you we want to have our canopies to sell ABC items. So what we're saying here is that if you are charging them 50,000 naira, 70% of that 50,000 naira you should hold it. 30% should go to NUGA, because I think there's supposed to be collaboration between us and the university. So 30% only comes to NUGA and 70% should be returned by you. If you go to University of Jos during the games, the whole place was scattered with vendors, some coming from Lagos, some from Ibadan, some from Para, so many places. You see people coming from Kano and with their wares. And so, but we left that place without us taking a couple from them. And we told the Vice Chancellor, this is not right. We agreed on this thing, you should do it for us. Thank God he has started opening up to you and he will tell you the challenges of NUGA. But I know that you will beat University of Jos because you have once hosted the NUGA Games. Even though you were a student that time, I don't know whether you were a student, but I was a graduate assistant in the University of Maiduguri, so I couldn't come to play my volleyball and badminton. Thank you very much. Article 9 is technical equipment funding. Technical equipment funding is critical in this hosting. And the university shall bear the cost of technical equipment, including electronic timing devices, scoreboards, and sports equipment. NUGA doesn't have any of them in its kitties. We don't have them in our schools. So normally, when we are hosting the games, we invite federations to come with their technical equipment. Thank God I have my NATO president, former NATO president here. He was the one that commissioned me. And I came here in 2012 to select athletes that represented Nigeria in 2012 Olympics. We did the selection here in Calabar, so I'm familiar with the place. So the timing devices and all the things that the technical officials will need will have to be funded by University of Calabar. Accreditation also should be funded. At the time, University Games. The University Games that took place in Benin, I was there as a director of sports. And we introduced an accreditation that is electronic in nature. We went to JAM to collaborate with JAM. So every student or athlete that is going to be participating, we have to see whether he has been a JAM student or offered admission by JAM at the time. Or if he's a postgraduate student, also we will get his number from the university portal. So that one, the university will have to bear the cost of the accreditation. Then we have scientific conference, which is always a usual thing, though it is sports, but we still have to have a scientific conference that will come up where papers will be presented and people will come to share their knowledge in the area of sports, different areas of sports. So this area also will be funded by the university. Now the budget and everything that when we come for exit, the results that we will be having from the university audit will be what we are going to also take to Committee of Vice Chancellors, where my Vice Chancellor is also a member, because they will always want to know what we are doing. And so we don't want to hide anything. We come up with our audit report and say, this is how much we have spent in University of Calabar. When they gave us 30%, this is what we have spent with our 30%. They should be able to also tell us that we have spent our 70% in this way. So that's only to handle accountability. Section 3, organizational structure. Main organizing committee. This is very, very critical. The main organizing committee is the main body that has to put all the structures of the games together. We have to have the main organizing committee that will take and give instructions to local organizing committee. The local organizing committee can be set up by the university. When you set up your local organizing committee, choose whoever you want to be in the committee based on the relevance of those people to NUGA competition. But they will be monitored by the main organizing committee, and the structure is going to be there. Now, we have also the ESCO on Article 17, there is no problem with that. And Article 18 talks about the subcommittees that we're going to have, about 14 subcommittees. These 14 subcommittees, technical, accommodation, transportation, medical, security, finance, protocol, media, publicity, education, arts and culture, scientific conference, marketing, sponsorship, souvenirs, merchandise, and then welfare. These committees will be in the local organizing committee with chairman or chairpersons heading all the committees. You should have your own technical committee. It is not the technical committee of NUGA this time around, but your own technical committee, where they are now also going to be interfacing with the technical committee of NUGA. So all these committees, we will need to see them when we next come for a meeting here. And after you have set your MOC, the MOC will tell us that these committees are there. But if you have other committees that you want to add, there's no problem with that. You add it, but you have to tell us that we have substituted this committee with this, or we have added this committee. Now, what's the power of the MOC? Decision making is their own power, and then the MOC to execute daily operations of their activities. Now we have transportation in Article 21. Article 21 talks about transportation provision by the university. The university would provide some cars. Thank God when we came, we had a car allocated to us at the airport. We got it when we came down. Today in the morning we were supposed to have the car to bring us, and we were told that the car has gone to pick some people again somewhere. So we don't want a situation where we'll be in a vehicle moving and then they say there is no fuel. It happened to us somewhere. I won't mention the names. I didn't mention those. So we were moving out of the university to go to one of the venues in order to see whether accommodation for the students were okay, because students were calling and complaining about their accommodation. While we were zooming out, the car stopped, and then we asked the driver, what's happened? What has happened? He said, fuel. I said, fuel. So now everybody will have to look for some money in his pocket and give the driver, go get it from any nearest filling station. And that is a very, very embarrassing thing. Students were, for the buses, shuttle buses, other officials, because there are other people that will be responsible for some other functions outside the school, so they will need some shuttle buses. I'm sure that this one is not going to be a problem to the University of Calabar. The same thing we said when we went to give the hosting to some universities. They will tell you there's no problem. As for cars, there's no problem. I was in Lagos, the biggest university in Nigeria, they say. So we go to Lagos, and I bought one rickety car that they just painted and got some banner and pasted on there. I went to the Vice Chancellor as the NUGA President. I said, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have given you a very big grant. You have made money. At least 200 and something million came from the state government. True of us. Yes. 200 and something million is coming from the state government alone. And then you put me in this type of car. I'm not saying that you should give me the car for takeaway to me. No, the one that will run me around in this city. This type of car you are going to do. He forced the director of sports that in fact in the ES. You know, you picked this ES from Lagos, University of Lagos. We don't have it in our constitution. It is your own local arrangement, and we always allow you to do it because we will not interfere with your local process, right? But we don't have ES in NUGA. But since you have and it's working fine, we are okay with that. Let's continue. Section 4, accreditation and participants identification. This one also does not have any problems since we are going to do the funding, so they will make supplies of all the things required. Then Article 23, number 2. Article 23, number 2. We have had situations where we come for sports and students fall sick. Some get injured. Some have very serious problems. In fact, to the extent of some even dying. Yes. In Makoni, Macaulay, a student went to the riverside and drowned. Yes, he went and he drowned from University of Calabar. On the day of our closing, when we were closing the games, these students went somewhere and then he fell into the river and he drowned there. Well, thank God the parents did not sue us, but we had to go there. I think he was there. We went to the mortuary to see the corpse and we conveyed the corpse. During the burial, I asked him and one other person, my late vice president then, went to University of Benin to condole with the family and the university. So we wouldn't pray this type of thing will happen to us in the next games. But the fact is that the Article 2, the sub-Article 2, student athlete must present valid T-sheet numbers for verification and coverage. This one is very important to us so that if there is anything, the student's T-sheet number will make reference to it so that the student can be attended to in any hospital because of insurance cover. You have your students on T-sheet. Other universities also have theirs, so we want to see how we can make use of it even during the games, not only on campus where the students are in the university. If we have a pregnant student here and she gives birth, there's no problem. We will still have to, because the T-sheet will cover for that aspect. I pray there's going to be no serious illness. Now, participation and eligibility, this is all for things that we need to note. The submission of participants, all the information that will be required by accreditation. We need bonafide students, not students who, because the University of Calabar now will want to play it fast and bring students who are not, people who are not students. There are people from the sports council, people who have graduated, those of them who are doing very well in sports, you can get them and bring. And when we come to the place of accreditation, you play wayo for us and we will not be able to get to the nitty-gritty of some of these students. That is why we have to put it here that we will put our eyes seriously on University of Calabar so that we don't bring non-bonafide athletes. It is not supposed to win, but if you are willing, win honorably. Then we have age and academic verification. University will provide proof of enrollment and age. So that one will all be in the students' details. Then impersonation clause, violation will lead to disqualification. Any student that has been caught falsifying this information will be disqualified. Non-student participation, all those terms are there. Then we go to article number 31, sports programs. The sports programs we will be having shall feature 23 core sports. 23. So I want us to note this one. There are 23 sports that we are going to be participating in. And therefore, you are going to be providing 23 different venues for this sports and games. 23.
That's additional.
No. Okay, there were some new demonstrations that were done in the last games. So we'll get you informed about those demonstrations that were done. But for now, we have 23. If demonstrations will be presented at the NUGA Council, if they give approval, then we are going to add to the 23. That is not going to be one sports facility can still have about 2-3 sports taking place, events. So that's not a big problem. Now we have number 3 of Article 31. The final list of sports shall be published 90 days before the games. That is 3 months before the games. So we shall be publishing the final list of the sports or games that we're going to be competing in. Technical allowances will be borne by University of Calabar, and we will need that money to drop in the account of NUGA 60 days to the time. That's 2 months before the beginning of the games. And if that is done, then we have no problem. We are going to run our games successfully because we need to pay our technical officials. The technical officials, when they come and they officiate and their money is not available, they will hold the results. The results will not be given. And the beauty of the closure of the games is the results. So we have to produce the table of results. And if the table is not going to be available, what is the duty of the games? So that's why we will need money to be in our account 60 days before the commencement of the game, so that we know who and who we are inviting as technical officials. Now the technical equipment, we have already mentioned that 60 days before the games will commence, 60 days we need to have. We were in Jos, and the games were to start the next day. We hadn't gotten our judo mats and our taekwondo mats. So we had to call the vice chancellor in the night and went to his house and told him that, look, we need these things because events will be starting tomorrow. And so, in fact, the vice chancellor couldn't make available that money. We had to take credit from somewhere. He is here. We asked somebody to give us the money. He gave us the money. We sent it, and then we transported those equipment. But if we have them here, that's good. We don't have much problem. Now, accreditation and scientific conference, we have said, is going to be won by the university, and there's no need I could spend time on that. Safety and security, you have already told us, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that your state is very, very secure, and we want to thank the governor and the people of Cross River State for providing this. We were very skeptical about going to Jos because of the security situations. In fact, the chairman of sports of the University of Calabar was one person who stood up and hammered that the University of Jos is not a secure place and that we shouldn't go to University of Jos. First, we should come to Calabar. And I told him that I came from Unical, so which one is more insecure? Yeah. So my postgraduate students were killed by Boko Haram. My friends and other people like that. But yes, you saw the chief that came from the University of Calabar. Thank you very much. The ceremonies and cultural programs, the opening ceremony, local organizing, and opening ceremony in consultation with NUGA. When we come for the opening ceremony, let it not be that the University of Calabar will take the whole show themselves. They are not going to involve NUGA. At that place, they will provide a stand for NUGA. They say, look at your place, go and sit down. So we have our to go and sit down there and be watching what you are doing. It's not the property. Sir, you need to say, I don't know. The chairman was there when the University of Calabar, the university, Premier University of Calabar was written in carbon paper. Carbon paper, and they were going with it for the march pass. That is ISO. It was ISO, but they are canvas. So, but if you are going to give us and then go out to do it very well, to collaborate and synergize, we'll be blessed with this. And VIPs and officials shall be accommodated according to protocol, and then our closing ceremony also should take the same act. Then Article 38, Arts and Culture Exhibition. Unical shall provide space and facilities for arts and culture. That is natural. Exhibition shall include cultural performances, interactive displays and presentations, and then arts and culture committee shall manage all the organizations. Article 8, Education and Scientific Conference, we have already said this. And Article 40, Scientific Conference, we have our committee, but we will now also collaborate with the committee of the University of Calabar to organize the scientific conference. And we are also saying that the cost for that scientific conference, we are going to ask the committee to submit their cost, and if they submit the cost, it's going to be expected to be paid 60 days before the games. NUGA shall approve all the speakers. That's not a problem. Accreditation and participation, we talked about this one extensively. And section 10, vendor and merchandising operations. So our vendors, we have already mentioned 70-30%. And then our souvenirs, we want to manage the production, distribution, and sales of official merchandise. Then ensure allocated spaces is used effectively and securely. Coordinate the LOC for logistics and sales. So we will expect that during the games, NUGA should be given also a space to have their wares to sell. When we sell our wares, we give you your 70% and take our 30%. Can you see that? We'll do discounts. People who want to buy them will do t-shirts, will do suits and other things, and we will expect people to come and buy. Then we are talking about auditing in Article 47, audit and reporting. So we have said that independent audits shall conduct post-games and then report submitted to NUGA and Unical within 60 days of the games concluded. After the games are concluded, 2 months after the games are concluded, we want audit report, because that audit report will present it to council, and then if council endorses it, we'll take it to CDC as our parents body. Transparency and accountability, that's no problem about that section. 12 awards and recognition, medals and awards. Unical shall provide medals, trophies, and certificates for all events. Award ceremonies shall occur at official venues coordinated by LOC. Then Article 50, Best Athlete and Team Awards. Awards for Best Athletes, Best Team, Fair Play, and all what more. The technical will come up with those ones at the appropriate time. Now we have also Article 13 that talks about protests, appeals, and disciplinary matters. All these ones are in accordance with organization of sports. Then Article Section 14, media publicity and marketing, sponsorship, and the rest of them all are the same things that happen in most of our sports competitions. Then Article 15, force majeure and amendments. Now, neither party shall be left. This place is the safest place, let them relocate. They relocate here with their guns and whatever, and then America says, and then Jackie and say, let us hit Calabar, and they hit Calabar. Yes, God forbid, I've been saying it. I'm a small pastor for my church. So, force majeure, we would not hold anybody responsible for any failure that is not caused by the person. Thank you. Amendments are required, and then termination. Either party may terminate the MOA due to breach of material terms, and then final clauses, our MOU here, entire agreement, our notes, our severability, and the rest of them. Article 63 of that is dispute resolution. And then we have also post-games evaluation, environmental and sustainability measures, volunteer management, accommodation, catering, and feeding. This one is very, very important. It's going to be a venue for competition. You can allocate or allow people to provide feeding in that place. But we need to warn that the person that is going to be responsible for this activity must be very, very careful, because if we have 10 people having any problem of diarrhea or any infection coming from the food they are eating, we can hold the games to halt. We can stop the games instantly. So your medical team must be up and about in order to make sure that the feeding people will be coming to have will be better. Let people not come from the library to say Edikanko and the Afang soup and begin to eat and eat. If they pose for that one, there's no problem, because they are eating something new. But if it is infectious, then we'll stop the games. And it is not going to be a nice thing to stop the games for 2 days or for 1 day. Transportation of participants. This is very, very important. Many people will be coming with their vehicles. And when they are coming with their vehicles, they may not have budgeted for fueling, for running around, because they don't know the distances. They will think that all the sports will be taking place in campus, on the campus. So when they come and park their cars and their vehicles, they will want to just walk from the hostels to the James village and do their sports. But we come to discover that if it's going to be a township sport, they are going to be leaving from the horses to faraway places. Vehicles must be made available for them, and then we must have guides, people who will guide them to the venues of their sports. We don't want any athlete to be late for his sports because of lack of vehicle. More so, the drivers that are coming are strangers in the town. They don't know places. You have to provide guides for them. If they are going to use their vehicles, there should be guides. If they are not going to use their vehicles, then you have to provide vehicles for them. The opening games and venues all must be marked, and we must have to give us a map of the city. Then the closing games and their cultural performances, self-compliance, all are things we already know we can do. Now we have anti-doping measures. We introduced these anti-doping measures in Lagos, but it was not active in University of Jos. We don't suspect our athletes to go into hard drugs for performance. But in case it happens, we'll put one or two of them to check. Now we have volunteer and staff conduct. We are going to have a body of volunteers. The university will raise volunteers, and the volunteers have their token that they are going to be paid. And we have somebody who is going to control that volunteerism, including your staff here. Then our intellectual properties will be part of this agreement, and then communication and coordination, then social media and digital coverage. We have to be sure that the social media use the correct logos and outlets for their information. Now, Article 80, ratification and signature. This is where my duty ends. Mr. Vice Chancellor, thank you very much for patiently listening to what NUGA has prepared that we make agreements on, and I know that by God's grace, we are going to execute this to the last. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you, the immediate past president of NUGA. I don't know, I think I will want to comment that I would like my people to remember
Vice Chancellor, the President and former President of the NUGA. I want to speak now as an accountant. Yes, because I've gone through what you are going through, what you have read, and I've noticed that there's a lot of funding and funds associated with this games. And I've also gone through your financial arrangements, and I've also discovered too that Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, we have a lot of money to give to the NUGA, right from the non-refundable fee of 10 million naira. I don't know. And then we also have a participation fee that has also been listed here, 5,000 naira per participant. And like you have rightly outlined that this money is for travel, accommodation, and all of that. I don't know how many committees. I've also seen that there are about 12 committees, 15 committees. So we don't know how many participants are expected for these games, for each of them to pay 5,000 naira. And that money, like from what you have said there, is for EXCO members and committee members. I also don't know how many are these committee members and EXCO members. Those are the areas that we have to look at very seriously, because if you are asking participants from the number of athletes we are expecting, that's a lot of money. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I've also seen in Article 8 the vendor revenue sharing. I've discovered too that we are going to provide virtually everything. We provide the land, provide the facilities, provide the equipment, provide everything. So if you go for that, we are the one that will provide food, accommodation, transportation, virtually everything. I think that NUGA 30% and university 70% is not fair to the university, and 90% for if you look at page 4, sir.
Yes, sir.
Article 9, right from up till the budget, you see that Unical is the one that is providing the electronics, is providing the accreditation funding, and is providing the funds for conference and the scientific conference. And yet we are going to present this budget to NUGA. So NUGA will look at it. If they don't like the budget, what happens? So, sir, I think that the budget shouldn't only be for NUGA, it should be also for the university to look at and see, because all of this is based on funding. Even as the VC has said that the governor is going to support us, yes, he supports. We're not going to completely rely on him. I know the governor